Ben's farmhouse, guest bedroom, night. Susie and Paige are putting sheets on the bed. Ben enters carrying towels.
Those are clean?
No, I fold my filthy towels and offer them to guests, hoping they're nose deaf.
Okay.
They hear the sound of a car honking outside.
Small people need baths. I'll pick you up in the morning. The hunt is on.
Susie leaves.
Did you know who I was?
Did you know who I was?
No, you looked so...
What?
Handsome, sexy, fun, but she can't say any of that.
Well, I didn't have my contacts in and you weren't wearing your underoos, so how was I supposed to know you were Susie's baby brother? I cannot believe we... I'm so skeeved out right now. Wait, how old are you?
Still 2 years younger than you.
You're 30. Whoa, the last time I saw you, you had a milk mustache.
Baby, I can grow the real thing now.
Nothing really happened last night.
Because I have rules about drunk women.
Well, okay, let's not get confused. You kissed me. The only thing keeping you from going further
Was my self-restraint.
and my gag reflex.
And my lack of a paper bag to put over your head.
She suppresses a smile. So does he.
Now that your true identity has been revealed, and now that I know you're a woman on a mission, I will try to behave myself. Nick Riley?
What?
Nothing.
You think it's absurd, not looking him up online?
No, I know why you're not looking him up online.
Okay, I'll bite.
You don't really want to find him.
Because that makes sense.
Because the fantasy is always better than the reality. I'm just down the hall if you need anything. Good night.
Night.
Exterior, Bemidji High School football field, day. The next morning, Paige and Susie cross an empty football field. Paige wears a seasonally inappropriate sundress.
Why are we at Bemidji High, and what are you doing?
Susie has brought an extra jacket that she's trying to put on Paige.
Once you've had a placenta inside you, you become eternally preoccupied with the hotness or coldness of those around you.
I'm fine.
You're freezing your tits off.
Paige lets Susie zip her up.
So, all the guys in the team lost touch with Nick after he left for college, but there is one person he would have stayed in contact with, at least for a little while.
Who?
His girlfriend. We're gonna crack this case, man. It's just like CSI, without all the semen.
Who was his girlfriend senior year?
Paige glances ahead of them. At the opposite end of the field, cheerleading practice is in session. Paige stops.
Oh, Christ.
Quite the opposite.
Exterior Bemidji High School football field, moments later. Cheer coach Michelle Witcher screams at her squad.
Smile, kick, higher, higher. Show me your acne eyes, girls.
The cheerleaders reach the end of their routine and hold their final poses.
No matter how hard I work, you refuse to bring the sexy back. And BTW, Madison Bell, you've got more than enough body weight to stick that landing. I better see hotter moves next practice.
The cheerleaders disperse.
OMG, Paigey McAllister and Susie Turner?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you, ladies?
Good.
This is so funny to see you here. Paige, remember how you tried out for cheer camp and you did the whole audition piece backwards? How did that happen?
You taught it to me that way.
Okay, awesome. Michelle, we were wondering, when was the last time you talked to Nick Riley?
Nick Riley? LOL, it's been like years. Why do you want to know?
You look so pretty, Michelle. You have barely changed at all.
Oh, stop it. But what, if anything, would you say has changed?
Your eyes are whiter. The white parts are nice and white. So, Nick Riley?
I haven't talked to him since he stood me up at the airport.
What?
Yeah, I know. So it's a few months after graduation, Nick is gone, and Kyle Watson comes sniffing around, you know. Well, I guess Nick got wind of it, and he begs me to come to Madison for his fall formal or whatever. So I fly my ass all the way out there, and he never even shows up to get me. But But then this Kappa Sigma hottie saw me looking all cute and lost and cute. And he took me to my very first college party, which was also the very first time I let a guy. Anyway, the trip wasn't a total loss.
Exterior Bemidji High School parking lot later. Paige and Susie walk back to Susie's Suburban.
You know, I have never really subscribed to the whole "you'll find love when you're not looking for it" philosophy, but maybe it's time I finally start. You know, give up the chase, cultivate my authentic self, find a new, preferably artistic career that suits my particular brand of quirk and makes my hair go curly in a relaxed and sexy, but not unruly way.
You're gonna do all this today?
Then love will find me. I will be rewarded with love. But you know what? I don't wear my hair in a bun. It's already down.
It looks really nice down.
Am I being screwed with?
If you are, I will cut someone. Okay, how about we take a break from the scavenger hunt? You could relax at the farm or you go for a hike. I'll do the kids. I'll meet up with you later.
Exterior dirt road near the farmhouse later. The sun is finally shining in Minnesota. Paige reaches the tree line. She looks around uncertainly. A truck rolls up.
You need some help?
No, I'm just looking for the trail ahead. Susie said it was right at this bend in the road.
It is.
He points at a narrow sliver of dirt.
That looks like a little well-worn path.
Yeah, a trailhead. You know where you're going?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Just keep the lake on your right.
Exterior trail later. Paige crests a hill, swatting away bugs. She's definitely lost. And she also really needs to pee. Paige steps off the trail, makes sure the coast is clear, and then starts to pull down her shorts.
Wait, don't, I can see you!
Benji, oh my God, what are you doing here?
Well, you have the worst sense of direction. You don't even realize how lost you are.
Oh, I kept the lake on the right, just like you said.
That's a different lake.
Well, how far back to the house?
It's about 20 minutes. I can guard the trail.
No, I'm fine. I can wait. You were following me?
We should get back.
He sets out. She follows behind. Interior, farmhouse, later. Paige hurries through the front door and into the bathroom.
Indoor plumbing counts as technology.
You are awful!
Interior, farmhouse, kitchen, same. Ben enters the kitchen, peels off his sweaty t-shirt. He hears a shriek from the bathroom. Paige appears.
So, say I had a tick. How would I get rid of it?
Well, you need good light and a steady hand. Where is it?
Interior farmhouse, moments later. Paige stands in front of Ben, who sits in a chair facing her pelvis. Confronted with her skin, Ben pauses.
Yo, steady hands. Get cracking.
Right.
He leans in and gets to work.
This reminds me of that time you flashed me.
I did not flash you. My thumb got caught on the edge of my crop top when I went to scratch my eye.
And you flashed me.
He resumes tweezing. He notices she has a small scar.
Appendix?
No. I had an ovary removed.
Oh. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
I'm fine. It was a cyst. It was just benign. So now I'm mono instead of stereo. No big deal. I was lucky.
Ben pulls the tick free and puts it in a tissue.
There.
Thank you.
When he stands, he sees that she's crying.
Oh, geez, did I hurt you?
No, it's...
Can you still have kids?
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, I've never given it the old college try. I might have wasted a lot of latex. But, you know, the thing is, a lady is supposed to have her babies before she's 35, or the risk of them having vestigial tails or whatever goes up like 90%. I'm almost 33, and it takes 9 months to incubate a fetus, so if I wanted to have 2 babies, I needed to get pregnant like 10 months ago, and you know, it's that kind of math that makes a person go to extreme lengths, like fly all the way to Minnesota to visit a total stranger.
You know, I only have one ball.
Really?
Would that make you feel better?
He smiles. He's lying, but it's so sweet. Paige is suddenly aware that Benji is shirtless. Then they hear a screen door slam. They jump apart. Susie enters carrying groceries.
I thought we could eat our feelings tonight. Why is your shirt off?
It's hot.
Here, let me help you.
Paige grabs a bag from Susie, who remains oblivious to the Paige-Ben heat. Paige and Ben avoid eye contact, sort of.
Hi, everyone. My name's J.T. Walker, and my script is a road movie called The Highway Kind, and it's about two ex-soldiers. One of them, Jack Cloud, is a 67-year-old veteran of the Vietnam War who abandoned his family when he returned from Vietnam and has been essentially living out of his truck for 30 years. And one night, he's pulling into a truck stop in East Virginia, and he basically runs over a young man who turns out to be Will, who is a young soldier just returned from Afghanistan who essentially couldn't reconnect to his old life and has set out across the country. Jack learns to find this young lady that he met in the airport once 2 years earlier in a snowstorm the night before he deployed. And when Jack learns this, he begins a campaign to break Will's determination to pursue this foolish romantic quest. And part of his campaign is to, on the night, they stop in Denver the night before they're supposed to part ways, and Jack calls an old flame of his, and they all go out on a big date, and he's trying to get Will laid. So they all go out to well, you'll see what happens, but this is Jack's attempt to get Will laid. So, with no further...
Interior motel room, night. Will comes out of the shower, wet hair, half-dressed.
Don't suppose you'd consider shaving.
There's a rapid, playful knock at the door, laughter from outside.
Do me the small favor of tucking in your shirt.
What's going on?
Showtime, friend.
Jack swings open the door, revealing Maddie and Robin, two attractive, good, salt-of-the-earth ladies done up for a Saturday night on the town. Maddie's in her mid-50s, Robin mid-40s, but has been 39 for the last few years.
Ladies! Welcome to our humble abode.
Hi.
Maddie holds up a bottle of champagne.
Ta-da!
Just what the doctor ordered. And honey.
Maddie and Jack kiss on the lips as the women walk in.
Hi, baby. About time you showed up.
Well, I want you to meet two good friends of mine, Madeline and...
Robin.
Pleased to meet you, Robin. This is Will.
Hi. Well,
Will awkwardly shakes their hands.
Hi.
Everyone calls me Maddie.
Let's open that bubble.
I like that idea.
We'll pull up a seat.
Will reluctantly joins them. Jack peels back the foil. Maddie hands out plastic cups.
How you been, Choe?
Good. Wondering when you'd swing back through town.
Well, here I am. Ready to boogie. This is Will's first time in Denver.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Maddie offers Will a glass. Will shakes his head no.
Will's a teetotaler, suffers from an excess of virtue. We gonna see what we can do about that tonight.
one little sip.
One little sip.
Will takes a glass. The cork pops, Jack and the ladies cheer. Jack pours a frothy round.
That too much?
Down the hatch.
Cheers!
Will raises the cup but doesn't drink. Interior, exterior, Maddie's car, night. Maddie driving her well-kept 1998 Buick LeSabre. Jack in the front seat, Will and Robin in the back.
Oh, left, right here.
I'd like to live through the night if it's all right with you.
Make you nervous to turn the wheel over to somebody else?
It does, especially when that person's out of their friggin' mind. How you two getting along back there?
Just fine. Matt didn't tell me I'd be cradle robbing.
I didn't know, but he's a cute one, ain't he?
He's gonna be a tough nut to crack, ladies. Says he's in love.
Oh, that's nice.
What's her name?
Kylie.
Kylie? He likes you. Wouldn't tell me. Kylie from Los Angeles. An angel in the city of angels.
That's wonderful. I love.
Exterior highway. Grizzly Rose honky tonk, wide shot, night. Maddie's LeSabre pulls into the parking lot of an urban honky tonk with a glaring neon sign. The parking lot overflows with other cars. Interior, Grizzly Rose, night. The foursome spill in through the door. The place hops with customers. A country western band plays and dancers circle the dance floor. Jack holds up 4 fingers to the hostess. She motions them into the club. Maddie and Robin go first.
Robin's a good-looking woman. Try and enjoy yourself. Never know what the night can bring.
The hostess ushers them into a booth. A waitress, petite and drawly, stuffs the table. Can I start y'all off with some drinks?
Round of tequila and I'll have a Miller High Life.
No tequila for me. That'd be the end of my night. I'll take a Cosmopolitan.
I love tequila.
I'll have a Coke.
Bring the tequilas for everyone. Grande, por favor.
The waitress nods and disappears into the crowd.
Will was just telling me this is his favorite kind of music.
Well, you like country western?
Born and raised on it.
How'd you two meet?
Will's hitchhiked across the country to meet the aforementioned young lady in Los Angeles. I picked him up in Tennessee and he's been riding with me the last few days.
Hitchhiking, that's dangerous.
You're traveling cross country to see a girl? That's romantic.
Romantic is one word, Barney.
Well, nobody's ever done anything like that for me. I think she's a lucky girl.
The band changes tunes. Jack grabs Maddie's hand.
Hey, come on, Matt, let's go get romantic. We'll ask this lovely young lady to dance.
I'm gonna sit this one out.
I'll stay here with Will.
Jack and Maddie jump out onto the dance floor. Will and Robin watch. Even with his limp, Jack's clearly an excellent dancer. Jack twirls Maddie around the floor.
I love to dance.
I'm sorry, it's just...
Oh, no. I'm fine. I like to talk too. You may have gathered that. Mad told me you're a veteran. Welcome home. You must really love this girl. I like to believe in love. I hope I have that someday.
You've never been in love?
Oh, too many times, probably. Just never with the right guy. Obviously, or I wouldn't be sitting here in this very respectable establishment with you, now would I? Or maybe I would. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know how all that works. Never was too good at picking. You know what I mean? Do you have a picture of your girl? Can I see it?
Will hesitates, but then pulls out the photo strip and hands it to her.
Oh, she's so beautiful. That is so sweet. I can't believe it. I'm such a sucker. I cry at the stupidest things. Well, no, not that this is stupid. Where'd you two meet?
In New York, at the airport, right before I deployed.
Come on.
The airport was closed because of a snowstorm. We started talking.
You met during a snowstorm in the airport in New York? That is possibly the most romantic story I've ever heard in my life. What happened?
The next morning, we got on our planes and went our separate ways.
You never saw her again?
Well, I left for Afghanistan 3 days later.
You haven't seen her since you left for Afghanistan, and now you're going to go find her? My God, you're really going out on a limb for love. Good for you. We're all gonna be dead. Who knows when? Just seize the day. That's what I say.
The song ends. Jack and Maddie return and slide back into the booth.
For a gimp, you sure can dance.
Not bad yourselves, sweetheart.
They kiss. The waitress comes up with their drinks. Tequilas, Miller High Life, Cosmo, Coke, anything else?
You'll have another round when you get your check.
Oh, God, no.
Salud, it will. To what the night may bring.
Jack and the two ladies lift their glasses. Jack looks pointedly at Will and shoots his tequila shot.
You sure you don't want one?
I'm okay, thanks.
Will just told me the most amazing story. Will, show her the picture.
Will reluctantly hands the photo over to Maddie.
This is her? Oh my, she's pretty.
They met in New York at the airport during a snowstorm right before he went to Afghanistan, and now he's going to find her. Wow. That's what I said. Isn't that the most... Jack, I don't know why you're giving Will such a hard time. It's a beautiful story.
It is a beautiful story.
Jack, shut up. You gonna get married?
I don't believe he's asked her about that part yet.
You going to pop the question? You have a ring?
Mad.
She doesn't know he's coming.
You're going to surprise her? That's fantastic.
Fantastic. How about idiotic?
Jack, leave him alone.
I'm just kidding.
Why are you giving him such a hard time?
How long has it been since you talked to this girl? A year? 2 years? You think she's waiting for you, piling away? She's long gone, man. She's not even gonna remember your name.
Hi, thanks for coming, everyone. I am the writer-director of Nancy, and Nancy is about a 40-year-old woman who is living at home with her elderly, abusive mother, Betty. And she basically is desperate for love and connection, and the way that she gets close to people is she creates these elaborate lies. And so in the beginning of the script, she's created this online blog where she describes how she's about to have a baby that's going to be born with severe defects and is going to die within a few hours. And through this blog, she, basically gets all this emotional empathy from all these other bloggers, and she ends up meeting one of them, Jeb, in real life. And Jeb is a recently divorced man who is pretty broken and has gone through this same struggle, or so he thinks. And at this point in the script, they've already sort of gone on one date and totally hit it off, and this is their second date.
Interior kitchen, continuous. Betty is at the stove stirring pasta and sauce in a pot.
Looks like your hand is better now.
It's okay.
Nancy grabs her phone from her pocket. It's a text from Jeb. Jeb, good to hear from you. How was your day? Nancy lights up and turns her back to Betty to write him back. Nancy, I'm doing good. How are you? Interior living room, night. Betty and Nancy sit on the couch in front of the TV eating dinner. Nancy stops between bites of pasta to text on her phone. Jeb, just got off work. What are you up to? Nancy, just dealing with stuff at home, trying to stay positive. Jeb, are you okay? You want to meet up tonight? Nancy, sure, where? Interior, bathroom, night. Nancy applies bright red lipstick to her lips and puts on a pair of nice gold hoop earrings. Interior, living room, night. Nancy walks down the stairs and puts on her coat as Betty watches a movie on TV.
Where you going?
Out.
This hour?
It's none of your business.
You're acting strange. Who are you trying to impress?
Nobody.
Nancy grabs her keys and goes out the door. Interior, car, night. Nancy adjusts her fake pregnant belly under her sweater in the car. Interior, dive bar, night. Nancy walks into the bar, small and uncrowded for a Monday night. A few redneck guys stare at her momentarily as she walks in. They continue to nurse their drinks, barely noticing how pregnant she is. Nancy walks towards a corner table in the back where Jeb is sitting, waiting for her.
Hey.
Hi.
Jeb pulls out a chair for her to sit in. There are already a couple of empty beer bottles on the table.
Sorry, there's nothing really open this late.
Oh, it's okay. Sometimes I miss the smell of stale beer.
Right. We could go to that diner on Route 22. I think that's open 24 hours.
Oh, it's okay, really.
Nancy grabs his shot of whiskey and downs most of the shot in one gulp.
What? Moderation, right? Don't worry, that's it for me.
Well, that's what I keep telling myself about you.
Really?
Oh man, shit, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Don't say you're sorry if you're not. That's what chicks do.
Oh, thanks.
I'm kidding.
I just meant I like being your friend.
I'm actually separated now.
Really?
Yeah. I don't tell people everything on that blog. The divorce won't be official until I have the baby.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. I mean, it was a long time coming. Paul moved out a couple of months ago.
Well, you seem like you're holding it together, considering everything.
Talking to you helps. It's just been really lonely since he left.
Hey, you want to get out of here?
Okay.
Exterior, Monmouth Beach, night. Nancy and Jeb walk along an almost deserted boardwalk along the ocean. A couple of teenage boys walk by with their girlfriends.
You sure you're up for walking?
Oh, sure, why not?
Just high heels, they don't bother you?
No.
I don't understand a woman's threshold for pain. So what is it that you do?
I don't really work right now because of the baby, but I used to teach high school.
Oh, what do you teach? What did you teach?
Mostly English lit.
What district? My sister teaches at Middletown.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of retired. I had some issues with the Board of Ed over my curriculum.
Oh, really? Like a scandal?
Kind of. Yeah, a bunch of parents blacklisted me after I had my kids read a short story they thought was offensive.
What was it about?
You ask a lot of questions, huh?
I just want to get to know you.
It was a short story about two suburban girls who go to Baltimore to buy crack cocaine to lose weight.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, it's a social commentary about white privilege and the exotification of the inner city. They couldn't handle me. They judge people and books by their covers, and I didn't really want to teach anyway. It's not really my passion.
Hey, I hear you. Fitting people for eyeglasses doesn't exactly inspire passion either.
You're an eye doctor?
Well, yeah, I was in a band for a while. Actually paid my bills for a few years, touring in Europe. But whatever, you get older, people start depending on you.
Yeah, I get it.
So what do you really want to do?
You don't want to know.
Yes, I do. No, I mean, seriously.
I just write short stories. Since I was a kid.
It's really. Can I read one of them?
No. You don't want to. They've been rejected from every editor and literary magazine on the planet. I'm sure they're terrible, that's why I can't get published.
Come on. You know how many famous people have been rejected for years?
Yeah, C.S. Lewis, 800 rejections, Gone with the Wind, 25 times, George Orwell's Animal Farm. Even The Diary of Anne Frank was rejected. Can you believe that?
Wow. I mean, you are really keeping track.
Nancy takes off her shoes and sits on the edge, dangling her legs.
Hey, I don't care if they've been rejected. I really want to read one.
Really?
Jeb sits down next to her.
Oh. You're one of the most interesting people I've ever met.
He leans in closer to her and kisses her, and then they start to make out ferociously. Jeb grabs her breasts over her sweater. He moves his hands under her sweater near her waist. Nancy, startled by how close he is to unveiling her pregnant suit, motions for him to stop.
Stop.
He continues groping and kissing her.
Stop, seriously.
Jeb finally stops.
Sorry, I just got carried away.
It's fine, I just feel really huge and pregnant.
I understand.
Nancy looks embarrassed. She leans onto his shoulder as Jeb stiffens a bit. They sit there for a few moments. Jeb takes his hand and rests it on her thigh. Exterior parking lot of Boardwalk night. Nancy and Jeb are still holding hands as they walk to their cars.
Are you hungry or anything? We could get something to eat.
I should get back home. Have to get up early.
Nancy takes her hand out of his hand and takes the keys from her purse.
Okay.
I'll call you. Call you later, okay?
Jeb leans in and gives her a kiss goodbye. Nancy hangs on to it way longer than he does. Jeb pulls away and walks over to his car. He gives a little wave from inside as he starts the engine and drives away. Nancy watches his car leave before getting into hers. She's completely smitten. Interior car, night. Nancy parks her car in front of the house. She turns off the engine and turns off the headlights. Still wearing the pregnant bump, she unbuttons her pants and starts to masturbate. She has an orgasm loudly inside the car. She buttons her pants quickly and steps out of the car, locking the doors automatically with her keys. Interior, Nancy's house, night. Nancy opens the front door quietly and tiptoes up the stairs. Interior, Nancy's bedroom, continuous. Nancy opens the door to her room. The light is still on at her desk. She drops her purse on the ground, takes off her sweater, and steps out of the pregnant bump bodysuit. Paul sneaks into the room. Nancy scoops him up and sets him on her lap, petting him affectionately.
Hey, Paul.
She nuzzles with him a while opening her laptop. She opens another internet browser tab and Googles lifelike baby doll. She clicks on the first website that comes up, So Truly Real. The pictures on the website show dolls that look very lifelike, but a bit off. Nancy stares at the doll's eyes for a while. Next to the picture reads, "Meet our first so truly real, breathing newborn doll, Ashley." Interior, Betty's bedroom, morning. Nancy walks in and sits on the edge of her bed. Betty is still sleeping.
Ma?
Betty's eyes remain still.
Ma? Ma?
Nancy kneels down and puts her face near Betty's mouth to see if she's breathing. Betty's mouth is half open and seems to be frozen. Nancy starts shaking Betty.
Ma! Ma!
Betty's unmoved. Nancy grabs a glass of water near the bed and splashes it on her face. Still nothing. Nancy takes the comforter and rips him off the bed. She kneels down to give her mouth to mouth, but nothing happens. Nancy finally takes out her phone and dials 911. Her hands are shaking.
So you guys have met Frank and Lisa. These wonderful young actors are Jasper, Steven, and Aiden. We the Animals is based on an incredible book by Justin Torres. These two scenes are very, very early in the book. All that's happened so far is these young boys have destroyed everything in their path and had the best time of their lives. Their mother works night shifts and is not often around. She sleeps a lot during the day to recover. And their father is also has difficulty holding down a job. It is also not often around, so they have very little parental guidance, and yet somehow they manage a lot of love. Enjoy.
Title, Never Never Time. Interior kitchen, night. Manny, Joel, and Jonah stand around the kitchen table dressed in raincoats. A tomato rests on the table. Suddenly, Joel lifts a rubber mallet from under the table and smashes it as hard as he can. On a TV screen in the corner of the room, Gallagher smashes a watermelon as an audience dressed in ponchos cheers. Jonah smashes a tomato. Manny smashes a tomato, and its guts drip down the walls, splatter across the boys' faces, and congeal in their hair. Interior kitchen, moments later, Ma walks into the kitchen, naked under her robe. She pulls the robe tight, ties it up and rubs the sleep out of her eyes. She drifts from the cabinet and pulls out a can of Folgers, opens it, shakes it.
It's 15.
She walks over to the stove. She picks up the tea kettle and smashes it down hard.
Why are you in school?
It's Sunday. It's nighttime.
Ma turns around to her boys covered in tomato splatter.
That's what you look like when you slid out of me. You were slimy when you were coming out.
Ma puts the kettle to the faucet and turns on the water.
Ew. Gross.
She sets the kettle on the range.
You were born with a full head of hair. I couldn't believe it. First thing I did with each one of you was count your fingers and your toes.
She turns on the stove.
Wanted to make sure they hadn't left any in there.
Ew. Gross.
Give it to me.
What?
Make me born.
We're out of tomatoes.
Use ketchup.
Joel gives her his raincoat, which Ma puts on over her robe. Manny places a bottle of ketchup in the middle of the table, facing where Ma will sit.
Don't open your eyes no matter what. Don't open your eyes until we say okay.
Ma gets down on her knees and rests her chin on the table. Joel raises the mallet above his head.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Joel crashes the mallet down on the ketchup. It splatters across Ma's face. She falls backwards from the table onto the floor.
Come on! Congratulations! Happy New Year! Happy birthday! It's the time of your life!
The kettle hisses. Ma opens her eyes and adjusts them to the light. For the first time today, she smiles. Title, 10 years old. Interior, bedroom, night. On his bottom bunk bed, Jonah lies awake, drawing a picture of himself in his journal. Jonah hears footsteps on the stairs. He lifts his sheet and shoves his journal into a hole dug out on the side of his mattress. Paps, with Ma in his arms like she was the bride of Frankenstein, passes the boys' room and continues down the hall. Jonah hears another Another door creak open, then the soft sound of his mother being spilled out onto the mattress. Manny, laying in his twin bed, opens his eyes. Joel sits up on the top bunk. They wait as Pap's footsteps get closer and closer until he appears in the doorway.
I need you to be good and quiet for your mom.
Paps removes a gold chain with a cross from his neck and puts it around Manny.
Make sure you take good care of her.
She hurt?
Oh, she's all right. She's all right. She just needed to get her wisdom teeth out. And the dentist had been punching on her after she went under. That's how they loosen up the teeth before they rip them out. The dentist says she'll be better by tomorrow.
It's my birthday tomorrow.
Wow. Happy birthday, old man.
Paps closes the door. Interior master bedroom, early morning. Ma is asleep in bed. On her nightstand are pill bottles. Bloody tissues are scattered on the bed and floor. Interior bedroom, same. Jonah is asleep. Manny and Joel stand over him and poke his stomach. He wakes and is about to make a noise when Joel covers Jonah's mouth. The three boys creep down the hallway to their parents' door. Manny slowly turns the handle, and they see the clump of their mother lying on her side, breathing heavily. Her face is bruised, puffy, and red.
My beautiful baby boys.
Manny sits on the bed and nods to Jonah.
It's his birthday.
Happy birthday.
He's 10.
You leave me now, he's 10.
What's that supposed to mean?
When you boys turned 10, you left me. You shut yourselves off from me. That's what big boys do. What 10-year-olds do.
I won't.
They changed. They want to smash things, to wrestle.
Aw, it ain't like that.
Isn't it?
I don't want to smash nothing. I want to study and never get married.
Good, then you'll stay 9 forever.
That's just stupid.
Will you get up today?
How do I look?
Purple.
Crazy.
Tore up.
But it's your birthday.
But it's my birthday.
Ma puts her hands to her face. With great effort, she pushes herself out of bed. Wearing nothing but a Giants football jersey, she walks over to her bureau, picks up a hand mirror, and studies her reflection from various angles, each uglier than the next.
What did he do to me?
He punched you in the face to loosen up your teeth.
Ma hurls the mirror at the wall. It shatters. Manny and Joel dart out of the room, but Jonah is frozen. Manny and Joel's face pop out on either side of the doorway, giggling.
You think it's funny when men beat on your mother?
Manny and Joel disappear. Ma sits down on the edge of her bed and pats her thigh. Jonah sits on her lap and nestles his head under her chin. She rocks him.
You promise me you'll stay 9 forever.
How?
Simple. You're not 10. You're 9. Plus 1. And next year you'll be 9 plus 2. Like that forever.
Why?
Because when they ask you how old you are, you'll be telling them that no matter how old you are your ma's baby boy. And if you stay my baby boy, then I'll always have you. And you won't shy away from me, you won't get slick and tough. And I won't have to get hard.
You stopped loving them when they turned 10?
Don't be simple. Loving big boys is different from loving little boys.
Ma squeezes Jonah into her chest.
You feel that? I remember Manny's heart inside me, ticking like a bomb. Nobody ever told me.
Told you what?
I was 14, and I asked your pops, I said, can I get pregnant from this?
From what?
Well, I sat on your pap's lap just like this. And he just laughed and said this. We had to go to Texas to get married because we were too young to get married in New York. And I had you all in those teenage years, Manny, then Joel, and then you. 3 Billy Goats Grove. You're not gonna be 9 + 1, are you? You're gonna be 10. And then you're just gonna keep getting older. Just like your brothers. And just like your paps.
To invite all of the writers up to the stage, and Zoe, our casting agent, as well. Let's just have one more hand for all of the actors. I'm Dan from IFP, and if y'all will bear with us for just a couple more minutes, I just wanted to ask a few questions of these guys, because this was a pretty cool experience, I'm sure. So this is the first time that you guys have heard your script read aloud, and I thought we'd start with Zoe, actually. Zoe did, I thought, a tremendous job casting this thing, and it was a little different than how you normally work, because we just kind of let you run with it. And you put this whole thing together, all of the actors. So what I wanted to ask was, when you read these scripts, where did you start? Where do you typically start with casting? Do you start with the physical attributes on the page? Do you start with the way they sound?
This one was a little different because we wanted to try and use as few actors as possible, even though it did turn out to be a great and big cast. But because I was trying to cast people to play very different parts and also very different ages, that's kind of where I started. Who did I feel could cover such different and wonderful characters, but also different from each other? And I did it very slowly, which I wouldn't normally do. I kind of reached out to a few people, then thought about who would, fill out the casts well, and went from there.
I have to ask about the kids also. How did you meet those 3?
Well, I've met them all through casting. Jasper is currently in the world tour of Einstein on the Beach, which I cast him in a few years ago. Aiden is about to be in Waiting for Godot on Broadway, and I met Stephen through that process as well. Stephen had just been on Broadway with Richard Greenberg's play, The Assembled Parties. So.
You guys were awesome.
They're all fantastic.
So I want to ask you guys, how is this different than you had read it on the page, hearing it read aloud by these guys for the first time? Did anything change?
Usually Dan is leading it. Really different.
I'm very tired, but I think the natural energy of having young actors take to the page is really exciting, and so you can start to remember. Our process, I think, was a lot different from everyone else's in that we were adapting someone else's story. And so I think, we're able to sit inside the poetry. So it's so exciting to be able to remember, these are going to be informed by actual living bodies and young, energetic bodies.
How about you, Jack? Did it change? Did any of the roles kind of transform?
Yeah. It was more the language. I tend to overwrite a little bit. And some of my sort of mini monologues are dense and kind of complicated. So it's been a while since I've been working with actors. I've been writing for a while. So it was really fun to work with these talented people and figure out, okay, that's a little overwritten. Let's lift that and let's smooth that out and let's shade this. It was really great to be doing that process again.
Yeah, I had exactly the same reaction. I just felt that these guys communicated a lot just with looks, and I just felt like, oh my God, they could say so much less and probably communicate more. I mean, I think it reads well on the page, but it just was like, you don't need it. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same way. I'm like, wow. I was like with my pen, like cut, So for me, it's like great to hear it out loud because it's a totally different thing, and the actors were all amazing. And yeah, I mean, there was definitely moments, but I didn't expect comedy. So that is always interesting for me to see where that lies, and it's not expected, when you're writing it sometimes.
So I'm sure everybody here wants to know what's next for each one of these projects. Can you guys just talk briefly kind of about what you're here at Film Week looking for and what your plans are?
We just really want to make the movie. And we're looking for guidance, and in almost every aspect. We finished the script literally on the deadline. I think we rushed the last 20 pages just to get it in. And it's been really exciting. This was really exciting for us and really emotional, and the whole experience is that way. So that we're looking for everything, and we're finding a lot of it. So that's great.
Money. We're all looking for money. I'm also looking for really collaborators. It's just me right now. I'm looking for producers. I'm excited about casting it. But this was a really especially great place to hear the script read out loud, because I'm excited about the next pass, and I'm hoping to find partners while I'm here to take the script to its final place in the written form, where it will then be rewritten in the production form, and eventually rewritten in editing, and the cycle continues.
I think I'm looking for cohorts. Having heard the scene today, I absolutely think there's going to be another pass, and I'm looking for producers to do that with. I need some perspective, and money, just, allies. And I think that's what's been amazing. I mean, even we already have allies here. I mean, it's like the fraternity, sorority that we've found here is really nice, just to have a little community of filmmakers, just to not be laboring away at my desk alone has been fantastic.
I mean, the same thing. We're looking for some collaborators, people that really like the project, and we're after this going to do this thing called Venice Biennial College Cinema, which is a program that if you make it to the final 3 projects, they'll give you money to make your film, a certain amount of money, and then a premiere at Venice. And so it's like a fun thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So I think we're almost out of time, but I'd love to hear if anyone in the audience has questions for any of these guys, or even just reactions. I'd love to hear. We have some mics at the front if anyone wants to come up.
So, what do you guys use? Do you have tools that you use, like either digital tools and or source books for both your screenwriting interests, and then what steps you're taking? Like, have you had a book or a reference that you think of as source material for you? Both in terms of the writing and in terms of the producing.
Well, ours is the easiest to answer. We had a book, and we read it, and while we read it, we transcribed it into a screenplay. So that worked.
Using a computer. It's our digital.
So what I mean is do you have a specific book or guide? Like there's Jean Reese has written a book about self-distribution, for example. So that's a source of
Like how to.
Certain screenwriting guides, like are there screenwriting tools that you've got, like digital tools that you purchase things? What do you guys use in terms of what you're learning about getting your film? Okay, you're using IFP as one source, but are there other sources for your next step? Other than that you turn on your computer.
We use Celltex. Yeah. There's a program called Celltex, and it's free.
Yeah, and that was really good because we would be we collaborated, so it's nice to be able to go on the interwebs and from every angle.
What was the name of that?
Celtics, CELTX.
See, that's helpful.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any sources?
I like Final Draft myself, but
Well, I mean, they use it, but
not free.
I mean, more also, there's like various film management tools and stuff like that.
I'm not really, writing. It's like final. I have like an ancient edition of Final Draft that works fine. I mean, they've added all kinds of bells and whistles that seem completely unnecessary, and I never saw a reason to upgrade. In terms of the other issues you're talking about, I'm not really there yet. I mean, there are screenwriting books that I like. The Tools of Screenwriting by Edward Mabley, I think is fantastic because it's intuitive and not formulaic, and that it espouses that kind of, storytelling, and I think it's great. I don't know. What else, Yeah.
Do you have any other questions out there? All the way in the back.
Hey, I'm a writer filmmaker, and that really resonates with me, that when you actually gets my actors reading the material, you realize, oh my God, it's almost always, right? Are any of you wanting to direct a piece as well, or are you writer-directors? Have you, and if so, are you considering doing more meetings with actors, perhaps even on camera, things like that, even editing together scenes, or do we just finish the script and then sort of try to take it?
I personally, I'll start with that. Having had this experience, I absolutely want to do more reading. So I want to do pass and look at the overwriting in my script, and then perhaps do it again. And I do occasionally do what I call sketches, where I'll shoot a scene in a rough form just to see how it'll cut together, and also just to see if it's working, and give myself the opportunity and the actors the opportunity to explore a little bit without it sort of having that sense that it's the final version. So I find that incredibly helpful.
Good for you, man. That's awesome that you do that. I don't do that. But I very much believe in the table read, the read-throughs. I was actually, right before I got into IFP, I was in the process of, finding my friends and trying to put together one. They're incredible. It's the same thing as having, early screenings of your rough cut, There are filmmakers out there who are auteurs and can do it all by themselves, but most of the time you only benefit from showing it to people, hearing it, getting people's feedback. And when I do my table reads, I invite an audience, not a big one, but people that I trust and people whose taste I admire and respect. So yes, there will be more for me, definitely. And I'm directing mine. I think you're directing yours, right? Yeah.
Well, in our team, Jeremiah is going to be directing the movie, and I'm a playwright, so I love dialogue. I like to overwrite a lot, and he likes to tell me that that's not what movies are. So that was our give and take.
That's a good combination.
I could talk more on this subject if anyone.
I think we have time for about one more question.
Just a very simple question. When you do read-throughs, do you record them?
They're recording it for us.
No, I went on the scripts, but don't.
I mean, when I've done readings, I think for screenplays, for plays, really it's just about to hear the rhythm and to be present in the moment. I think listening back to it after that, personally I've never done that, but usually it's just about having that red pen in your hand and just like nicking it off as it's going.
I'd say that for me, I can't keep up, so I record. I mean, I'm definitely, but for me, like taking notes while I'm listening takes me out of it. So I'd prefer to watch and sort of feel, and then I can go back and get specific later. So I like the recording of it.
I also, in like rough cut screenings, when you're actually at that stage, I record those, just the sound, to hear where the laughs are and where the reactions are.
So I have a lot of thank yous that I want to say before we all go, but first I want to remind everybody, www.ifp.org/reading. Please go on there and fill it out and let these guys know your thoughts. It is really, really helpful, and it shouldn't take you more than 2 or 3 minutes to fill out. And it is smartphone accessible. And now on to the thank yous. First of all, one last huge round of applause for all of the actors. I thought they were all fantastic. I want to thank these guys for having the courage to put their works up on stage for the first time. I want to thank our sponsors of this event for continuing to support IFP for all of these years, SAGIndie and the Blackhouse Foundation. Literally could not do this without both of them. And last but not least, the secret hero of the whole event, Zoe, who put this all together and worked a lot of hours for us.